Hello! My name is Pei, and this is the most consistent way to make some GP that will kickstart you into other RuneScape adventures. A lot of beginners are scared of the wilderness, and I kind of feel them. You're always at the risk of losing something. It doesn't matter if the said thing is valuable or not. It's the time that you put into getting that thing. And most importantly, you're always going against players which literally have 2 decades of experience, so it's kind of rough. It's the equivalent of joining a Quake Live server and getting dumpstered by 40-year-old dads who played Quake World while you were still in the womb. But then again, I wouldn't be making this video if the risk outweighed the reward. Everyone knows that RuneScape has a lot of bots, and these bots are now a huge part of the RuneScape ecosystem. You have a lot of creators and players whose sole purpose is just to kill and find ways to kill and trick bots. They wouldn't really do that if it wasn't as profitable, right? So my question to you is, why not take advantage of this opportunity and make the best out of it? It's just another way to make some money in a sea of all the other activities in OSRS. When I said it's the most consistent way to make some GP, I really meant it. I've had sessions where I pulled around 9 to 10 mil per hour, and the best part about it is that's the actual amount of GP you're getting. Say for example, you're trying to make profit on Vardorvis. Wiki states the hourly profit is 8.8 mil, but what it doesn't state is that the profit accounts for you getting the unique drop. So the math is simple. Sometimes you'll get a drop within a few kills, and sometimes you'll get dry like a motherfucker. So this right here is the real shit. Before I show you this simple trick, which probably more than half of the OSRS player base knows, I just want to give you some numbers. So I killed 386 bots at Spindle and Calvarion for around 200 mil profit. I tracked my time played, and I started grinding at 62 days and 21 hours of playtime. And I finished somewhere at 64 days and let's say 10 hours. So that's around 37 hours of straight bot smashing. Take 200 mil profit and divide it by 37 hours and we get 5.4 mil GP per hour. Now, it doesn't sound much, but you gotta account that it's pure profit, minus the consumables of course and everything else. This is still by far my quickest method of making good money. My bank constantly got bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so we all know that bots use clients which switch their prayers automatically, depending on which weapon you're currently holding. So if you're holding a staff, they're gonna pray mage. If you're holding a crossy, they're gonna pray ranged, and if you're holding a DDS, yes, you've guessed it, melee. They're still killable, but you're gonna have to sweat a lot, and us casual players, we love everything but sweat. There's a trick to confuse the bots by making them not see what you're holding in your hands. I guess whoever made the software didn't account for the one thing that every gamer loves in their game nowadays: skins. So the trick is very simple. Get a rune crossy, get a shattered relics, variety ornament kit, and boom, Chad crossy. This works with dragon crossy and the bounty hunter ornament kit as well. The bots completely ignore the crossy, which means they're never gonna pray ranged. This makes the bot farming at Spindle and Calvarion trivial, because all you need to do is catch a TB, drop entangles, and smack them with some bolts. It's easier to kill bots at Spindle because if you time it correctly, you can drop the webs on bots for much faster and easier kills. Bots at Calvarion are usually lower level, so sometimes if you don't get lucky with your hits, they're just gonna run south and you won't be able to attack them. They're definitely killable though, especially if you trap them in Calvarion's lair for some extra damage. As far as gear is concerned, start with something that's really not valuable, such as Mystic Set and the Black D'hide, just to get a feel for it. Once you get comfortable, upgrade your gear as you see fit. From my experience, the most important gear you can get is the Swampbark set, because it increases the duration of your entangles, making it harder for bots to escape. For your crossy, bring at least Dragonstone Bolts E, because they have a pretty decent passive effect. Also, you can always bring a sub to my channel, as that's always appreciated. Since you're in the wilderness, you're gonna have encounters with other bot killers and sometimes even PKers. I mean, it's inevitable, but luckily for us, most of the bot killers are there to do the same thing and they're mostly chill. Also, I noticed the more I upgraded my gear, the more it became a double-edged sword, meaning less gear players would often just TP or run away as soon as they would see me, but equally or better gear players would lean more towards trying to PK me than the bots. I'm not a good PKer, but the best advice I can give you is to have a quick TP method handy. I got used to my glory amulet and I have it bound to shift click, which teleports me to Edgeville. The better alternative is to just use a seed pod to Grand Tree. However, most of the time you're gonna get insta TP'd by other PKers, so you're gonna have to come up with another plan. The best thing to do in that scenario, that is if you don't intend to fight back, is to catch an entangle, stand under the player and spam the logout button. Usually it works, but sometimes more experienced PKers are going to have seeds and you're gonna have to think of a better plan, which is to run the fuck away. In my 37 hours of bot farming, I had encounters with maybe 10 PKers, and that's probably exaggerated. In any case, even if you die and lose a mill or two, you can get that back in 10 minutes and 3 to 4 bot kills. I got a little excited and geared up because I actually want to learn how to PK, but when the time came, the reality hit me and it hit really hard. This guy was obviously more skilled, so I decided to make a gap and log out because he had seeds and I couldn't entangle and log out under him. I finally got a small gap and started running south, spamming the logout button. In that split second, a max friend of the PKer that chased me came in and took the kill for his friend. Yeah, unfortunately, this is why most new and casual players avoid Wildy, and I completely understand them. There's a lot of trickery going on and the more experienced players are taking so much advantage over the newer players, but I still like the Wildy content, and trust me, 90% of the time it's completely safe and you're going to have no problems farming the bots if you decide to do so. Once you get really comfortable, you can easily get 2 to 3 keys per run, which increases your profit dramatically. Once you're done, you're going to have a lot of leftover Dragonstone jewelry, which really have no use since you can sell them on GE, but you can always high elge the jewelry for extra few mil profit as it really stacks up. And that's about it. I just wanted to show off my favorite and quickest money making method. If you're a newer player like me, this is definitely worth to do as it makes space for you to try other content with better gear. Obviously, some people take bot farming to the next level and they make ridiculous amounts of GP, but you have to be aware that those people have multiple maxed accounts and decade of experience. So for most of the casual one account fun havers, I believe this method is definitely one of the best forms of consistent money making. Thank you all for watching and have a good one.